Residents of North Point fire scene want guest houses out. 2 terror attacks in Volgograd in less than 24 hours. And the German magazine reveals NSA spying tactics.
Good evening. 5 people remain in critical condition following yesterday's number 3 alarm fire in a building in North Point. Visitors staying at guest houses in the building were among the 25 people injured in the fire. Today, residents there said they want the guest houses gone. This morning, officials from the fire services and buildings departments inspected the scaffolding outside the building that caught fire yesterday. Continental Mansion on Kings Road has been under renovation, and contractors say it's a good thing that fireproof scaffolding protection nets were used. Otherwise, the whole building could have gone up in flames very quickly. Still, the number 3 alarm fire caused more damage than residents had expected. The power was still out this morning for those living below the 10th floor in the rear block. Residents had to take the lift to the top of the front block, walk across the roof and down the stairs to the lower floors. What can you do? Hopefully it's just a few days, said this resident. This woman says she has to use candles at home and all the food in the fridge is spoiled. According to Home Affairs Department records, there are 5 licensed guest houses operating in Continental Mansion. But a 6th hostel on the 16th floor is suspected to be unlicensed. Residents complain that no guest houses should be allowed in the building. This man says he finds it annoying to have to queue for lifts to get home. The owners' corporation of the building says it has always been against landlords turning their apartments into guest houses, and that it is in fact against the deed of mutual covenant. Chairwoman of the owners' corporation, Chiu Kin's son, says the group will be holding a meeting soon and hopes that this will be an opportunity to get rid of the guest houses. But the Home Affairs Department says it only considers fire safety and the building ordinance when issuing guest house licenses and not the deed of mutual covenant. It emphasized that it always takes fire escape guidelines into account, so having hostels will not lead to overcapacity in the building.
Hong Kong confirmed its first human case of the H9N2 avian flu virus today. The patient is an 86-year-old man who lives in Lowu district of Shenzhen. He was sent to North District Hospital and is now in stable condition at Princess Margaret Hospital. The Centre for Health Protection believes he became infected outside of Hong Kong.
Our investigation so far revealed that the patient had no recent poultry contact, consumption of undercooked poultry, or contact with other avian flu patients. His home contact in some gens has remained asymptomatic. Over 50 healthcare workers of Northern District Hospital and ambulance service are put under medical surveillance.
More suspected counterfeit $1,000 banknotes were found in a Tsim Sha Tsui bank today. The Bank of China tellers called the police after finding about a dozen suspicious $1,000 bills as 2 women tried to deposit them. Police took them away for investigation. Over the past few days, quite a number of people have gone to banks to exchange their 2003 editions of $1,000 notes issued by the Bank of China and HSBC for other bills. Today, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority said it won't issue a mass recall of the banknotes. It pointed out that right now people can choose to return the banknotes or continue to use them, but a mass recall would have a bigger impact on society. The authority said, however, it will speed up the planned replacement of $1,000 bills of the 2003 editions with 2010 versions.
The Environmental Protection Department's new Air Quality Health Index took effect today. The new index is reported on a scale of 1 to 10 and 10 plus, with 5 health risk categories, including low, moderate, high, very high and serious. The Environmental Protection Department will also monitor the average concentration of 4 air pollutants: ozone, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and particulate matter every 3 hours. The department will then issue health advice based on estimated short-term health effects linked to respective risk categories and air quality indices.
And police in the rest of western region of Xinjiang on the mainland today shot dead 8 people who allegedly attacked the officers with knives and explosives. The Xinjiang regional government called the incident a terrorist attack. According to a government statement, 9 knife-wielding assailants threw explosive devices at a police station and set police cars on fire at around 6:30 this morning in Shahe County, close to the old Silk Road city of Kashgar. Police shot and killed 8 of the attackers and captured the 9th one. The incident was the second outbreak of violent unrest in Xinjiang this month. 2 weeks ago, a clash in another county near Kashgar left 14 assailants and 2 policemen dead. Authorities have previously blamed the violence on Islamic militants among the region's Uyghur ethnic group.
And violence overseas. Clashes between students and riot police continued on Sunday at Egypt's main Islamic university. And at least 4 people were injured in a blast in front of a military intelligence building just outside of Egypt's capital. The violence comes on the same day Egypt's interim president said a presidential election can come before a planned parliamentary election without violating the military-backed timetable. This means Egypt would have an elected government by next summer. That plan originally required parliamentary elections to be held first. A constitutional referendum is set for mid-January. Students at Cairo's Al-Azhar University, a stronghold of supporters of deposed President Mohamed Morsi, have been protesting for weeks against his ouster by the military and a recent state crackdown. On Saturday, a student at the university was killed during a demonstration that turned violent. Well, for the second time in less than 24 hours, the southern Russian city of Volgograd has been targeted by terrorists. At least 14 people are dead after a bomb ripped apart a trolley bus during this morning's rush hour. The blast comes just a day after a suicide bomber killed 17 people in the city's main railway station. As James Aiken reports, the attacks are highlighting Russia's vulnerability to extremist attacks as it prepares to host the Winter Olympics in Sochi.
The explosion shredded the bus and was powerful enough to shatter windows in nearby buildings. In addition to the dead, 20 people were rushed to hospital. All the patients are in bad condition with burns and have multiple injuries typical of such blasts, said the Russian health minister. As shock and panic rippled through Volgograd, all public transport was halted. Federal officials are calling the attacks terrorist acts, but there's been no immediate claim of responsibility. Suspicion is falling on militants who want to carve an Islamic state out of southern Russia. Rebel leaders recently called for maximum force to stop the Sochi Games, a major prestige project for President Vladimir Putin. He's already ordered ramped-up security checks at railway stations and airports nationwide. But the bombings are raising questions about the effectiveness of such security measures routinely ordered by the Kremlin after terrorist attacks. It is necessary to control the allocation of forces in the Volgograd region and to cover all other regions of our country, said the Emergency Situations Minister. The bus bombing comes a day after another deadly blast at the city's main railway station. It's the 3rd time in 2 months that the southern city has been attacked. In October, a suicide bomber killed 6 people, suggesting militants are using the transportation hub to strike outside their region. Volgograd is also one of the venues for the 2018 Soccer World Cup. With the city on edge, the bombings are raising fears of further violence just 40 days before Russia holds the Winter Olympics. James Aiken, TVB News.
A German magazine has blown the lid off alleged U.S. spying tactics used by a hacking unit of the National Security Agency. Der Spiegel claims the NSA would intercept computer deliveries, exploit hardware vulnerabilities, and hijack Microsoft's internal reporting system to spy on its targets. Sonia Artero reports.
Der Spiegel points to a division of the NSA called the Tailored Access Operations, or TAO, as an elite team of hackers specializing in stealing data from the toughest of targets. This included computer monitoring cables designed to record whatever is being typed across the screen, or USB sticks secretly outfitted with radio transmitters to broadcast stolen data over the airwaves. They also use fake base stations to intercept mobile phone signals on the go. Der Spiegel claims the NSA never had to rely on James Bond-style spy gear. That's because TAO personnel were masters at delivering malicious software to specific computers. They did so by exploiting weaknesses in hardware and software distributed by the world's leading information technology companies, Cisco Systems, China's Huawei Technologies, Western Digital Corporation, and Dell. TAO also relied on its allies in the FBI and CIA, who would intercept the hardware in transit, take it to a secret workshop, and install espionage software before being sent on its way. Another shocking revelation Der Spiegel cited was how the NSA preyed on Microsoft customers with technical problems. By tapping into Microsoft's call center, the moment your computer crashed, TAO would seize that vulnerability and get its spies to tap into machines running Windows. Der Spiegel did not divulge whether this latest American spying revelation came from former NSA analyst Edward Snowden, but in this case, it's safe to assume so. One of Snowden's key contacts, American documentary filmmaker Laura Poitras, is listed among the article's 6 authors. Sonia Artero, TVB News.
Well, we have heat signature footage showing the rescue of passengers from a ferry reportedly subject to an arson attack off the coast of northeast England. The rescue operation took place in the black of night. One by one, Royal Air Force cabin crew winched up passengers who suffered smoke inhalation into a rescue helicopter. Originally bound for Amsterdam to celebrate the New Year holiday, the vessel was carrying 946 passengers and 127 crew members. Just 50 kilometers into the voyage, a fire broke out in one of the cabins. At least 23 people were treated for smoke-related injuries. 2 male passengers have been arrested for suspected arson, although authorities have yet to establish a motive for the attack.
And still ahead in our news tonight. Taxi drivers protest against a new LPG price hike. Michael Schumacher still in critical condition following a skiing accident, and the completion of Hong Kong's new velodrome.